Hi, welcome back. Has this ever happened to you? You know that job as a computer operator? The one where I had 23 spelling errors on the resume? But my boss put me in for promotion, and HR said I didn't have enough experience. Another person in the department had more experience. Yeah. She watched checks print so they won't jam in the printer. She did that for 5 years. But it turned out okay. My boss moved me to the top of the pay scale for my current position, which was more than a promotion. So it was a good Christmas and even greater office party. Then they announced they were having classes on programming, and I asked if I could attend on my own time. And I was told, you can never be a programmer. I didn't listen, I just taught myself programming, and then got another job in a different department as a programmer, and even with an increase in pay. Then Michelle and I got married. You know that Christmas party a year ago? That's where we met. A couple years later, I got tired of working for the state of Michigan, where civil service put being on time on the job ahead of performance. So I got a new job as a computer operations manager, and we moved from Lansing to Hastings, Michigan, where a year later our first son Tom was born. Maybe this sounds familiar to you. A friend invited us over for dinner, and after dinner, surprise, they sprung an Amway presentation on us. But since I was now making more money than any of my friends, at $10,000 a year, I wasn't interested in selling soap for extra money, so we left my friend's house pretty quick. But looking back, I know if my friend had explained about building a home distribution business and the potential for financial and time freedom, chances are I would have taken a more serious look at it. Instead, I took a job as a consultant because I was told my income would double within a year, and was all flying to places around the country and coming home every other weekend or so. After a couple of years of being away from home and missing my wife and son, I made a change and got a new job. And by the way, that promise of doubling my income for that consulting company never happened. They always said somebody else was more qualified due to time with the company. But again, it turned out okay because my new job as an IT manager was for double my pay. So the family and I moved from Michigan to Corinth, Mississippi, where our second son, Dane, was born. After a couple of years there, they were having me going back and forth to New Jersey to help set up a corporate data center. And I ended up spending more time away from home. So soon, we packed up again and moved to New Jersey. I got a fancy new title there at corporate, but no more money and an added responsibility. And New Jersey costs a lot more to live than Mississippi. After being in New Jersey for a few months and buying a house, guess what? As they say, the other shoe dropped. My boss was fired, and since I was his protege, I was downsized. Well, I had enough working in the corporate world where performance really didn't matter, so I became self-employed consultant for a few years. Then I took a job with my ex-boss as VP of a consulting company. Did that for a few years, and the shoe dropped again. At Christmas time, I was told there'd be no bonus because business was slow. Well, I did some checking and found that I was responsible for $70,000 income to the company above what I was paid. So I left and started my own consulting company and tripled my income the first year. But I was working so hard I missed much of my son's growing up. So I started looking into alternatives and started home business part-time. Had success working and reached a VP level with Prime America, and that's like a diamond with many other companies. But they had a policy called replacement, and they ended up taking 90% of my team, and their policy was to go full-time. Well, I couldn't do that with a six-figure income I was making in consulting, so I left that network marketing company. Worked part-time in a couple other companies, even Amway, and above-average success most of the time. But even when I didn't make a dime, I saved thousands of dollars in taxes for my consulting income, and that paid for a lot of vacation with family. Well, it was time to move again. My biggest consulting client moved to Tampa.